Joe fans, I'm JoeFan82 here with another action figure review. Today I'm looking at the brand new G.I. Joe Classified Series Roadblock figure from Hasbro. Here he is in the package. It says ages 4 and up. Some nice artwork here on the front. I really like this art they have for Roadblock. And down on the bottom we've got the G.I. Joe Classified Series logo. And here's the back of the box. These are all the same, at least for Wave 1. We've got all the same artwork on the back, so nothing new there. On the side, you'll see these symbols. It seems like so far these figures have individual symbols for each one, and they directly correlate with that character. And he is number 1 in the series. Interesting that they chose Roadblock to be number 1. And some more artwork here on the side, different from what you saw on the front. Here he is out of the package, and it looks like he was mostly inspired by the vintage version 2 figure from 1986. Taking a closer look at the figure, you can see pretty nice sculpt, I think, a decent sculpt. The top of my figure on the head has a little bit of paint wear, I think from shipping, and some on the side. I got this from Amazon, and they did not, it was shipped in the package it comes in, but in an envelope, so not the best method of shipping, so I got banged around a little bit. But he's got a full beard here, not a goatee or a mustache, full beard, looking pretty good. On the top right of his vest, you'll see that he has that same techno piece that we saw for the Duke figure. And they did a pretty nice job. The sculpt is good. It's a light green with red pieces on the front and on the top. A little bit of gold highlights, and just a really nice sculpt overall. Bare arms, gray belt with a holster going up the side. And moving down, he's got dark green pants. Looks very close to what the Duke's pants colors were. He's got one gold knee pad on his left leg, and gold armor there on his shins and the tops of his boots. Those are not removable. That's part of the sculpt for the figure. He's got a really nice lion tattoo on his left shoulder and arm. Really nicely done. I don't know if you can really see it too good with my lights on here, but nice detail, really well done. And here's the back of the figure. Not much to see here, just continuing on from the front. The light green, they stayed away from the neon green for his vest, which was the vintage had a very bright green. This is a much paler green color. Let's look at his articulation. His head is on a ball joint, has some up and down movement there, and can move from side to side, and if you want to push it, good to go all the way around. His shoulders come up about so far and come down, and it's got a 90-degree bend at the elbow, plus he's got double jointed elbows, and he can bend all the way back like that. And he's got a 360 turn at the wrist, plus an additional joint there that he can move up and down. So if you're familiar with G.I. Joe, this articulation is slightly different for the 6-inch figures. He's also got a swivel there at the bicep meeting the shoulder, and I believe this is called a butterfly joint right here where the shoulder meets the chest, so a little bit more movement there. He does have a cut in his center, which you can't see because of his vest. Mark Webber would be happy. And moving down, his legs come up about that far. Really solid joints here. He's got double jointed knees. Really stiff joints right out of the package. I'm going to just loosen them up a little bit. and he's got a 360 at the where the boot meets the pants, and then a rocker ankle for his boot. I do wish that joint on his hand was colored red so it blended in more with his glove. And his accessories, and right off the bat, let me just say, yes, he does not come with his traditional weapon. He comes instead with this, I believe it's being called a railgun, and honestly, it looks good. I like the sculpt, very well detailed, nice paint apps. It's a silver with some red highlights, and on the end there is some blue translucent plastic, and I think it looks really good. No, it's not the weapon that he came with in 1980 whatever, but I think it still looks good, and that's what he comes with. So, you know, if you don't like it, you can write your congressman, and I'm sure they will get right on it and get Hasbro to issue a retraction. Anyway, I think he looks pretty good with this weapon, and yeah, so let me know in the comments how much you hate the fact that he doesn't come with the version 1 weapon. This also comes with a little clip that snaps into the bottom pretty securely. And here he is again. I think he looks pretty good, pretty cool in my opinion. But that's just my opinion. Yours may vary. Here's a little size comparison with the classified Duke figure. As you can see, Roadblock is bigger, he's taller, he's got a bigger build as we would expect. Roadblock is supposed to be a much bigger guy than your average Joe. So overall, I would have to say that I like this figure. I think he's a nice version of Roadblock for the new 6-inch scale. He is based on the 1986 version of Roadblock, so he doesn't have his camo tank top. That might be a future release. We might have to wait and see. I'm still not a huge fan of the gold that we see there on his armor, on his shins and his knee pad. Personally, I would have preferred silver if they were going to do armor. I would just like silver more than the gold. And I think he actually looks okay with his accessories, his weapon. His knife can fit there in the sheath on his vest, and he can hold his railgun. All of his accessories can fit on the figure, which I like. I will say that I did have some trouble trying to get him to hold on to the trigger portion of that railgun, but I'm really just going to have him in this pose that you see here most of the time anyway, so it wasn't that big a deal. So that's my opinion, my review of classified Roadblock. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of my future videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.